You need like a team of clippers to get all the good details. Like this one here, we're going to watch is Will Heron, TV's Will Heron, as he is a professional.
Another party involved in the Rekieta saga, and it's not Kayla, and it's not April, but it's Aaron Imholte, also known as Aaron Imholte. I hope that shows up now because that shows up in his on the police think it's his computer, like Aaron Imholte, aka one of his aliases of the Steel Toe Morning Show. Yes, in chat, if you guys don't know the story about that, when Nick decided to basically light everything on fire to go, casting it all away. He hung out with April and Aaron because they were on the Steel Toe Morning Show, and they were husband and wife, and they did a little bit of like couples docking. We know there was some swinging going on and some swapping going on, and probably a lot more. It all kind of disintegrated, which shocker it did that. I mean, who could have foreseen that coming? And then at some point, Aaron did send to Gino Biscani, and I know some of you are like, what the hell? And I'm like, I know, guys, the dabble, like, we were kind of minding our own business. Like, well, actually, it's more like we're the conquistadors, and the Dabbleverse is like the North American Indian tribes, and we just like slammed right into them. We slammed right into the Dabbleverse at full speed. Like, we're like Pizarro, we're like Cortez, and they're the Toltecs and the Aztecs, and they're just trying to get caught up to it. And we're like, who the fuck are these people? So Gino Biscani was all part of like Aaron's little world and that all thing that we kind of ran headlong into. He allegedly sent her naked pictures of Kayla. So Aaron got charged with felony revenge, and currently he is facing charges. Yes. And as he famously said, your boy did good, didn't he? Your boy didn't do too bad, didn't he? Which, it's great to do. What's great to do there? The sector being the Dabbleverse is like a match made in hell. Well, it's funny because I've run into other people who, and this is very much a true thing. Like when you're in the internet, and I've said this before, I think a couple times, you are not like whatever group you're in, you're really not as big as you think you are or as bad as you think you are. But I will say the sector and internet blood sports and all of that is still actually considered kind of like, the Eastern Front of the internet. Like it's a tough place. And I know IBS is gone, but even the sector still is, the sector still is pretty rough and tumble. It's a rough neighborhood. And the Dabbleverse is a rough neighborhood too, but it's very interesting. Anyway, go join the Folk Nation. Oh, yes. The sector's the major leagues, bish. IBS lives on. It's a skin suit at this point. So anyway, with all of that, Aaron got charged for basically revenge pornography. They have it worded differently under their laws, but it is an actual thing. And Aaron's facing charges out of Stearns County, Minnesota. That's where Aaron lives, and that's where he did it at. So that's where he's facing issues there. If you guys have not seen what that actually all means, this is something we covered way back when. We also covered Aaron's arraignment. It was actually the first time we did a Stonies read, I think was that day when Aaron got arraigned. So anyways, he's facing non-consensual dissemination of private sexual images and intentional dissemination. Not misogynation. I don't think Aaron's down with that. But it is dissemination. And intentional is a felony. And then there's non-consensual dissemination of private sexual images. Intentional dissemination of the image without consent. He's also got charged with gross misdemeanor. When there's issues about it wasn't intentional. And there's an issue about intent because it changes from a felony to a misdemeanor. So what does that mean for Aaron? Well, Aaron's case was set to go, and we learned a couple of things. So he had his pretrial yesterday, and here's what we learned. So what happened is things are set. So we have this notice. And this thing is highlighted saying, just please notify your client. That's just a notice to the attorney. Hey, knucklehead, your client's not getting a copy of this, just you. So it's coming to him. It's in the 7th Judicial District. Here's Aaron's case number. If you're looking for it, you can look it up online. And it's the state of Minnesota versus Aaron. Aaron Michael Imholte, AMI. I wonder if that goes by. So anyways, you are notified of the hearing dates. They're setting a jury trial for 2 days. 2-day trial, which isn't actually abnormal. I mean, if you think it's a very straightforward case, you would still take 2 days. In Aaron's case, it'll probably take him longer to pick a jury than it would to go to trial, but we'll see what happens there. There's also one more thing that's been set for Aaron, and that is this here, and it is a motion hearing. It's set for April 10th. I did reach out to Aaron and ask him what's going on, and he believes that there'll be some sort of resolution before we get to trial, but they did set a motion hearing for April 10th. So it sounds like dealing with motions limine, any other pretrial matters. That's what I believe is going to be addressed. Jury selection, yes, Augusto Pinochet would include voir dire. So that's what I mean by jury selection is voir dire. That'd be jury selection. It'll probably take longer because it's not a super involved case. Now, like I said, I talked to Aaron. He seems to think that there will be a resolution to this. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe Aaron goes to trial. I mean, we already heard Gino and Keanu saying, I don't really want to be part of it. This is all retarded, which if you're having witnesses who aren't showing up, that can be potentially fatal to a case. We don't really know. All he did tell me was apparently they're still trying to work on things, but in the meantime, they set a trial date. I think that may have been the court actually wanting to do that. But either way, it's going to get set. We'll see what happens. And you may not like Aaron, but if you want to see Nick get felted, then you want another win for the toe. So that's how I'm looking at it. That shame says, and they're out of state. Yeah, it is. That's the other big issue. They're out of state. They're not even in the same county, much less the same state. Gino and Keanu, I call him Gino. It's like, Benifer. I keep doing that. They are in the Tri-County area. I think they're in New York or New Jersey. So, yeah, they're pretty much gone. They're in NY. Okay. That's what I thought. Well, they're in New York City, New Jersey. Like I said, it's all the same place over there. So, if Gino, Keanu, and Kayla don't testify, what are the chances of a conviction? I mean, I don't see how, Nick will drag Kayla into court and force her to testify. There's no way Nick is going to let Aaron get away with this if he can. I mean, that's what this is all about at the end of the day. We all know that. This is Nick reeing at the top of his lungs and weaponized using the court system because he didn't get his way. Very likely because Aaron didn't buy Nick's house when Nick was trying to leverage his debt. It's what it really sounds like, chat. And you might say that really does seem like what it sounds like. And that's probably because it's what it is. I mean, in reality, that's how those things go. So the idea that Kayla decides, I don't want to testify, there is not a world in where I see Nick going, oh, okay, that sounds fine, honey.
Will Heron says, Nick, can you speak on how April is, and is she living with you all? Let me answer in reverse order. No, she's not living with me or you all, whoever you all is. Can I speak on how she is? I could probably speak on my opinion of how she is, but I'll let her speak for herself if she ever chooses to.